I want to talk about the most useful piece of software that I've run into in my academic career. This is something I use every single day and helps me write all of my papers. This is a citation management program and a document organizational program called Zotero. I was advised to use this program by one of my professors right as I was starting my PhD, and it was probably the most useful set of at least technical advice that I got. So now what I want to do is introduce you to Zotero, overview its major features and its basic operation so that you can use it in your sort of paper writing assignments as well. So what we see here is our main landing page for the program Zotero. Zotero is we'll go to this real quick. Zotero is a application that you download from Zotero.org. It's an open source, free to use application that you download and run on your computer. Now, when you run it on your computer, it has two main functions. Number one, it functions as a document repository, categorizing, naming, creating a searchable database for all of the sort of pieces of writing and documents that you might have. So journal articles, books, newspaper articles, everything you might need. And then secondarily, it is also a citation management software. So it helps you actually take that organized information and cite it in your writing. So let's first talk about Zotero as a general overview and Zotero as a document management system. So once you download Zotero, you will have the sort of program pop up, and it won't be full of documents like mine is, but you'll have this sort of blank canvas in which to organize all of your things. Now, what I've done is I've created basically folders or collections, as they call them. So up in the upper left corner, you can create a new collection or a new folder. And I create one basically for every class, for every project. So I have all sorts of different categorization mechanisms. Here you can see the main, in the center, you can see the main sort of page. You can see all of my different articles, my books, my websites, things that I've downloaded and we're using. They're organized currently by the author. They have the type of article or book or type of media that it is and the title. And now the really interesting thing about this is, in addition to simply keeping track of all of these things, if you click on the little caret or click on the thing, it has the actual PDF in there as well. I don't know why I have two copies of this PDF, but there it goes. But I have this direct PDF, and if I double click on the PDF, it goes and opens it in whatever my PDF reader is. So it's a great place to have all of your PDFs. Now, how do you put things into Zotero? Well, first, if you have a sort of document folder full of files, you can simply add them manually using the import function. You can import whole folders. So if you have a unorganized folder of various articles, you can just put all of that straight into Zotero. However, what makes Zotero very powerful is its ability to be used directly in a browser. So, for example, if you want to bring an article right out of JSTOR and put it directly into Zotero, the browser add-on function for Zotero is incredibly useful. You can find this through whatever you use to add add-ons to your browser. There's a searchable Firefox sort of page to do this. You can do this in Chrome as well, or you can simply Google Zotero browser add-on and you'll get right there. Once you have it, you'll notice that up in the upper right corner of your browser, you have this new little button. This button is the Save to Zotero button. Now, this button will change depending on the format of the thing that you're trying to save. So you can actually save the Zotero webpage to Zotero in this fun little recursive loop. But let's imagine we have this article about Thomas Hobbes, and we want to save this article to our Zotero page. Now, previously, if you wanted to manage this article, you'd have to download the PDF, you'd have to name it something because JSTOR sort of names downloads in random numbers, and we don't want to do any of that. Instead, we could go here and it would recognize that this is a PDF. You can save it to Zotero. You can click on it. It will save the document automatically to my library. It will create a new entry for this document. It will save the PDF to the document as well. It will also rename the PDF as the author's name, the date, and the title, so you have direct access to the PDF in that way. And now if we go back to this page, we can find the document that was just added to it in here. We can even search through our fields to find Hobbes, and there we go. Here we have it right here, Thomas Hobbes on the Political Theorist Vocation. We just added that, and here's the new PDF that is renamed and ready to go. You double click on it and it pops right up in your software. Now, the other thing that's incredibly useful, I would say, is to add not just articles, but books. Say if you have a physical book, you might want to add it to your Zotero so that you can cite it, even if you don't have the full PDF. So let's add a book to my dissertation folder. The way that I do this is by using essentially all of the metadata that Amazon has provided for me already. So I have this book that I just purchased called Questioning Technology that I want to add to my Zotero. Now, we're on the Amazon page for this book. It has all of the metadata. I bought the paperback copy. Now, if you notice, the Zotero button up in the corner has a Save to Zotero button, but now it looks like a little book. So now if I click this, it will save the book, the name, the author, everything I need right to my Zotero page. It'll add an Amazon link so I can go back and find the Amazon link if I want later. Come back to the main page. There it is. It's added the author. And if you notice, it's got all of the metadata here, the publisher, the date of publication, the page numbers, everything that you want from the metadata of your book. So now that we have our sort of documents stored in Zotero, now we need to use them. Let's say we want to cite them in a paper we're working on. Now, over here, I have a chapter of my dissertation, and you might notice I have a huge number of citations in it, or a respectable number of citations in it, and this would be an absolute nightmare to try to go through and manage and do automatically. But with Zotero, it becomes incredibly easy. Let's set this up. So, what we do here, in order to set this up in our Word document, the first thing we have to do is make sure that we've connected Zotero to our Word document. Okay, to connect your Microsoft Word program to Zotero, what you need to do is go to Zotero, click on the Preferences tab, go to Cite. Now, this will first give you all of the different citation styles that you can use, but what we're interested in is word processors. Now, it will say Microsoft Word, and it will give you the option to install an add-on or an add-in. I have an add-in already installed, so it's all good to go. So you would want to install this add-on. Now, we can go to our new Word document, our test document, and play around. Let's say I wanted to cite Thomas Hobbes at the end of this sentence. You might notice that up at the top in Word, I have this new little Zotero tab. I can click it, and then it gives me some options here. So first off, I can click on my document preferences to bring up the type of citation style I want to use. So let's say it's selected as MLA format. Let's say I want to switch it to the Chicago style. So I switch it to Chicago style. I say OK. It updates my document. I say add edit citation, and it brings up this little searchable folder. So I want to cite Hobbes. I type Hobbes. There it is. I hit enter again, and boom, my citation is put right there. But that's not enough. I need to put it in my references. So I scroll down to my references page, and I just click add or edit biography. And all of a sudden, there it is. It adds my reference to the document, and I'm good to go. And I can do this with literally hundreds of citations in any one document. This also works in Google Docs. So if you have Google Docs, if you've added the Zotero add-on to your browser, it automatically updates your Google Docs. And so now we have this new Zotero tab, and it operates in basically the same way. We want to cite Hobbes, you click on it, you go to Add Edit Citation, it will ask you to integrate it, and that's fine. Say I want to use Chicago Manual of Style, okay, go back, add Hobbes, hit enter, and there we go. Same thing, if we want to add a reference page, we could go to Zotero, add edit bibliography, and it will go and do this for us. And this works for essentially everything. And there you have it. This is the basic functionings of Zotero. There are a few things that we haven't covered, like Zotero has a online syncing option where you can sync all of your files to their online service, but that's a paid service that I don't use, so we are going to skip it for today. But I highly recommend that you download Zotero, that you play around with it, and you'll find it's an incredibly easy and useful way to manage your citations inside all of your academic documents.